a lot of chefs, there's a lot of cooks. There's a lot of people that are trying to say what they want, and actually there's a question on that later on, which is who takes charge? I'm going to look at what the Shaykh will say it now. The ulama have said, if we're talking about the Salat, then the Imam of the Masjid has more right to lead the Salat of Janazah than anyone else. Not the father, not the brother, not anyone else. Because here, the Imam of the Masjid is the Imam. Nobody can come and say, right, I'm going to lead the Salat. If it's in the Musalla, sorry, that's if it's in the Masjid. If it's in the Musalla, again, the Imam should have precedence. Unless, the Shaykh says, unless if there is a will. So if our deceased writes that in my will, I want my father to lead the Salah, or my brother to lead the Salah, we have to respect that. It's wajib for us to respect that. Even if there are better people present, we have to stick to that. Unless obviously the will has got something haram in it. And then the third scenario, where the Shaykh says, is that if there's no will, and the Imam, there is no Imam, or the Imam is relaxed on it, then anyone can lead it. So it's the same thing here when we're talking about washing. If the deceased, the left hand woman says, I want representatives from Masjid Tayyib or Masjid Furqan or any other masjid to do my washing and I don't want anybody else to do it, that has to be respected. And what's sad is that you will take the body to, I don't know, to any other masjid, and they'll have their own people there, and then they'll start doing it instead. And that's how the will has to be respected. So now, our deceased, do you will for Muhammad's washing? You can speak here. Right, so now he saw him doing it, and he has said yes. Now you're going to be doing the washing, Muhammad. So now he's allowing the body, which is good. He's going to empty the stomach. Into the stomach. Okay. Careful. Yeah, that's it. Now gently put him down. You might want to press the stomach. Yeah, we're presuming that the aura is covered, right? At this point as well, you might want to cover your left hand. Cover your left hand. Just pretend you have your hand covered. And you need to wash your private part. Do you want to do that? Or do you understand to do that? Let's just assume that you've done that. Yeah, okay, right. Now we're doing wudu. So we start with the hands, we do wudu. You want to do wudu? Very quickly. Wash your hands, other hand, 3 times, mouth and nose. Mouth and nose. I can do mouth and nose, but you listened before? Huh? How do you do mouth and nose? Yeah, you get like a stick or something. Just use that. Like that, exactly. And then use the mouth, right? And then the rest of the wudu, okay? Now we are going to do ghusl with water and sidr. So now, yeah, so now you wash on the right. Okay, so wash on the right and wash on the left. Okay, now the question is now, how are you going to wash his back? Not quite. Not quite, but like that. You have to be gentle. You have to lift them up. Right? So circle that. Circle that.
There's 2 tables, remember? There's 2 tables.
So what we'll do is we'll pull it towards me gently.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll wash that side. Well, we do it this way first, isn't it? We're doing the right side. So we wash his back this side. And then we wash his back this side. And then that's it. Keep them together again. And then we wash it one time again without water, without soap, just with water. Now we're ready to do the perfume. So we've got perfume. Where do we do perfume? Either we can do the whole body, or we do the faces of wudu. The elbows. So we're starting from the right. Face, feet. Or if you can't do any of that, you've only got a little bit, then we just do this. Now we are ready to shroud it. Now for men, there are 3, and for women there are 5. Stop. And when you see the men's 3, then you can understand why the women will have 2 extra. So now what we would normally do is we keep his aura covered, you get a towel now, and you dry him. And you transport him carefully, so then you would have like a stretcher kind of thing here, and you'd lift him onto another platform, which is now dry. The first one is wet because soap and water and everything. So now we're on a dry platform, and we've already laid out the shroud. There are 3 pieces. One here, so we get the bottom half and you tie it there. One here at the top, so we wrap him like that. And then one last one where we would wrap him, so we'd stop on the right, and then like that. Right? The top here, we will make a fastening there. Make a fastening here, so you have a piece of string underneath like that. You fasten in there. Piece of string here, fasten that. Why do you keep doing that? And then we fasten the feet together. So now the body stays still and shrouded. Now we take him to the graveyard. And before we lower him now, is we remove the knots. We keep the fastening there, but we loosen the knots, and then we lower him down. There are 2 types of grave. There's the shaq type of grave, which is that he's buried like this. And then there's the lahd type of grave, which is, really it should be an L shape. So what they do is they dig it like an L shape. So you lower him, and then you push him into the L shape. Why? Because really your body should be the other way around. But really, the right hand side, can you just turn the other way so So now we're lowering him this way, and his face is now going to be towards the qibla. Actually, we're the right way first time. Because your right hand side, is that your right? Yeah, it's the right the first one. Anyway, just leave it there. You'll be facing the qibla, and because it's an L shape, you're tucked into the grave. So then now what they'll do is they'll support your back, and then they'll fill on top. So that's when they're putting earth onto your body, into the grave. It's not landing on his body. We don't have that in this country. So the left type that they do is that they lower the deceased into the grave like this, and this is why you'll see people going down and they'll put boulders or large amounts of earth or even bricks or something like that underneath to support it up so his body doesn't fall. Yeah? So they will have something supporting. And then what they do now as well is they'll put planks of wood on top. Yeah? So the back is filled up, planks of wood on top, and then they fill the grave up with that. Yeah? Was it painful? That's the burial, but we haven't done the salat. Like I said, we've got a number of questions on the salat. Okay, let's just revise the salat very quickly.